Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another KARENism. I'm so glad to have you here. Um, I got to take care of one thing real fast. There, I did that. Now you have my full undivided attention. Don't you hate it when people do that? I really do. I hate that. But I'd rather give you my full undivided attention and not worry about other things as long as it's only going to take a short second. That being said, I have to apologize for last week and not being here last week. Everybody here is getting a form of COVID. It's not the horrible form that went around a couple years ago, but it's definitely worse than the flu. And I was sick in bed with that, and I just couldn't bring myself to getting up, and I apologize. But I'm glad to be here back this week and excited to have yet a new show. And I'm excited to talk to my good friend Jace. Jace, how are you?
Hi, Karen. I'm good. How are you?
I didn't get you sick through the internet, did I?
Um,
You're like, no, that's not possible. How are things going for you?
all good. I am actually at my grandparents' place now, fully situated. The thing is, just the first week, I already am experiencing storms, but all good on me. But how are you?
You know what? I'm doing great. We got a lot of fun things coming up this week. I know we got a great show coming on Wednesday. I'm going to give a teaser for that. We've got a phenomenal guest for Wednesday for Power Surge. And again, the Power Surge is every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Boy, I said that one wrong. And always love it when you join us for that. And we have great guests every week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Gonna have a lot of fun helping my mom make some quilts. She's got some quilts going on, so I'm helping her with that, and just a lot of fun, interesting things.
Well, so excited for Power Surge too. I will be there, but I will always be in the back room. But just so that everyone knows, it's one of the best shows ever that you'd watch. It's really nice just hearing stories from different people every week.
Oh
So
yeah, and we've had some great guests, haven't we?
we did for especially for the last couple of weeks. We are having a really great lineup of guests.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. Well, you know, talking about how I am, I have to go back to that. I have to be honest with you. I'm a little irritable this morning. And I have to laugh at myself for being irritable because there is no reason for me to be irritable. Do you know why I'm irritable?
Why? I mean, not a good way to start the week, but
You know, I had a dream last night that Darwin did something that upset me. He didn't even do it. And I woke up this morning angry at him. And it's like, what is going on with you, Karen? It's not even a reality. Have you ever had a dream that was so real that you woke up living in that dream?
actually, and you just start thinking about it all day, and it just bugs you, and you do not even know why.
Oh, yeah. Well, I told Darwin about it and he went, huh, sounds like we may need to talk about something. What is it you want to talk about? And I just went, I don't know. But I just had one of those dreams and it just, um, it's one of those phenomenons that you just get going and it's like, are you freaking kidding me? What on earth would I be upset? I remember the one that stands out the most in my mind with my first husband. I was pregnant with our third child. So I am great, big, and pregnant. I was probably 8 months along. And I dreamt, you'll like this, it's totally hysterical because it would never, ever in a million years happen. My next door neighbor was just the nicest gal, but her and my husband, they didn't hate each other, but they didn't like each other. And hi, Joel. And I have to say, it was really funny because I dreamt he had an affair with her. And I was 8 months pregnant, so I'm already emotional. And honestly, it took me a week to overcome that. And it's like, it was just a dream. It didn't really happen. But that goes back to our mind does not know the difference between reality and make believe.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, it's just, it's again, it's one of those funny phenomenons. Anyway, I was thinking about the dream last night and it reminded me of my book, Living a Positive Life One Moment at a Time. And we'll tell you later today how you can get a copy of it. But I started looking through it because it was like, oh yeah, I remember in that book that I had another day where I woke up with one of those dreams and it was like, really? Why am I in this mood today? And sometimes we just wake up on the wrong side of the bed. It happens. We just wake up on the wrong side of the bed and we wonder, why on earth did I get here? And again, today was one of those days, and I just have to laugh at myself and go, it's not real. Um, but those mornings that are harder than others, it comes back to there are things that we can do because if we let it get to us, we'll get into a funk. And funks are not fun. And those that's a euphemism and don't know what funk means, it just means a form of depression. You're just not fully happy. And, and sometimes we get into those funks. And I have found 5 surefire ways to not be in a funk. But I want to go over the first 3 today with you guys of ways to avoid a funk. I call it kicking depression's butt because, none of us like to be depressed. And so there are 3 steps I want to go over today. And the first step is thank you. You got to have that attitude of gratitude. You've got to say thank you. And the honest goodness about saying thank you is that when you say thank you to somebody else, especially, you are giving yourselves 3 positives for every thank you that you give. So if Jay said, "Oh, what a lovely necklace," and I went, "What, this old thing? Ah, I've had it for 100 years." Then I've just said to myself, "Oh, I have no taste. I can't believe I was dumb enough to wear that necklace today. Oh, I look hideous." Well, he said he liked it. Why did I go there? Because I wasn't practiced saying thank you. But if I say thank you, I've just told myself, hey, I've got good taste. Wasn't I smart to put this on today? And hey, I think it looks pretty snazzy. Okay, so that is one of those things that you do. But if you flip the opposite side of that, if I don't say thank you to Jace, I just said, what, are you stupid? Have you no taste? What's wrong with you? And I've just given him a massive negative, actually 3 negatives to every 1 negative. So he now has 9 things to have to say to overcome that negative because I wasn't willing to say thank you. But when I say thank you, he gets 3 positives automatically. And it's like, oh, that was nice of me to say that. Hey, I've got good taste. And wasn't I brave to say something in an era where it's easier to say nothing at all? So you got to learn to say thank you. But the big thing I want you to learn to say thank you to is your day. Thank you for the things that you have. Now, I'm not talking about your Lamborghini and your chocolate chip cookies. And I mean, we don't care about those things. I mean, I can hear, I can see, I have friends, I have family, I have loved ones. And it just comes down to having that attitude of gratitude. And you got to start out by saying thank you. And you got to come up with 10 things a day that you can write down to say you're grateful for. And we've talked about this before. And when I was first challenged to come up with 10 things, I couldn't think of 10. It was like, I'm grateful that and my husband, my ex now, but my husband at the time says, are you grateful you can breathe? And quite honestly, at the time, I wasn't so sure I was. But I came down to, for the first couple of weeks, I had to do bodily functions. I'm grateful that I can breathe. I'm grateful that I can see. I'm grateful that I don't have a runny nose today and that everything is going well. I'm grateful that, I mean, whatever it was that you were grateful for. And there are things that you're not grateful for. I get that. So don't list those as one of your 10 that you are grateful for. So the first thing is say thank you. Every night before you go to bed, say thank you. And the funny thing is you won't have one of those nightmares because you've said thank you. Your mind now has the thank you to focus on, and it will focus on other things to be grateful for. Don't know why, don't know how. It's a phenomenon. The scientists can prove it and they know how, but I couldn't give you the medical or scientific background behind it. The second thing to do is laugh. Now, I'm going to talk about laughter in another episode of it a lot stronger. But, one of my friends is a psychiatrist, and really, with me, with my degrees in psychology and other things, I do the same thing. You've got to tell people to laugh. And if they laugh for 5 minutes a day, their health, their mental well being, I mean, their physical, their mental, everything around them improves. Well, some of us are not laughers. I am not a big laugher. Somebody tells me something hysterical, and I go, that was good. And I feel fulfilled because I have fully felt the funniness. I have laughed, but that doesn't cover the 5 minutes of laughter. And my friend and another doctor of mine, friend of mine, told me that's okay because smiling for 20 minutes is equivalent to laughing for 5. Smiling for 20 minutes is equivalent to laughing for 5. So you have to just sit back and force yourself to smile for 20 minutes. And I don't care if you force yourself to smile walking around the grocery store, which is, by the way, you will have more friendly people greet you at the grocery store, not as many of those Karens. Yes, that's my name, I know, but we know who I'm talking about. None of those wicked women or men are going to approach you as much because they see that smile. And, if people are in a grumpy mood, they don't want to be around somebody who's happy. And if you're happy and they're kind of depressed, it brings them out of that depression because that smile automatically, and this I'll go back to in a second, that smile automatically subconsciously makes them smile. They may not physically smile, but their brain instantly reacts to what they see. Uh, it's just the way it is. So you want to smile for 20 minutes a day. And there are five, get that, five fundamentals to laughter. The 5 fundamentals to laughter. The first fundamental to laughter is that it bonds teams. What do you mean it bonds teams? If you can laugh with the people you work with, if you can laugh with your family, if you can laugh with others, you've got that, oh, sort of inside joke or that funny that is the best glue ever, and it will bond you. And it works for people you don't like too. And I just, this is funny. I worked with a guy named Garth. Oh gosh, it's been a long time ago. It was probably, oh, ow, that just aged me. It was probably 25 or more years ago that I worked with this Garth guy. And I'll tell you what, I don't know why, but I despised the man. And I don't know why, but he despised me. And we'd never met before we started working. But that first time we met each other, it was like, oh, stay away. I don't want anything to do with you. And I thought about it and thought about it. I thought, why do I feel this way about him? And I finally decided, you know what? I got to do something about this because this is not healthy to dislike somebody this much for no reason, especially. And so I thought about it. And I'm not telling you to do this because it's not necessarily appropriate. And in today's world, you might get sued for sexual harassment. But I looked at him and I said, Garth, I think we were married in a previous life and it didn't work out well. And he looked at me shocked. And all of a sudden he started to laugh and he says, I think you must be right. And we laughed hard about that. Now, we didn't begin to love each other. We didn't begin to even really like each other, but we no longer despised the other person. We didn't do lunch or go to parties or anything. But when I saw him in the hall, I could smile at him, say hi, and walk on. Where before it was like, oh, just, it's one of those people you just want to shake when you see them. Well, it bonded us as a team, even though we had nothing really, we didn't work with each other. So you want to find things that you can laugh at. So that's the first fundamental, is it bonds teams. The second the second fundamental is that it conveys authority. It conveys authority. Now, what does that mean? Well, first time I heard this, I went, what? How can that convey authority? Well, do you want to follow somebody who's always ornery and irritable, takes everything too seriously? Or do you want to follow somebody that when something funny happens, they can laugh about it? Or that has a good attitude? Or if you totally screw up, they go, okay, you messed up. Let's not do it again. What can I do to help you? Yeah, you want somebody who can smile, who can laugh at their own mistakes, that doesn't freak out over everything. So, first fundamental is it bonds teams. Second one is it conveys authority. The third one of my personal favorites, is it produces endorphins. And these endorphins are similar to morphine. Have you ever had a day where you woke up and went, I need a happy pill today? We have those days where it's just, oh, I can't stand this anymore. Well, if you find yourself laughing, if you're smiling for the 20 minutes, it produces those endorphins and it will make you happier. It will make you happier. The fourth one is it improves productivity. It improves productivity. It is proven over and over and over again, study after study after study. People with a good attitude, people who can smile, people who laugh, they get more work done because they don't find themselves in that state of um oh, what's the word I want, where they're not motivated to do anything. They don't find themselves in that state. They find themselves in a state of motivation. Which brings us to our fifth fundamental. And I'll tell you what, this one is probably the most important one for me, is the fifth fundamental helps to put things into perspective. Doesn't make it go away, doesn't make everything better, doesn't make everything perfect, but it puts it into perspective. Now, when I was teaching customer service and when I was managing call centers, I would tell people, you've got one of those angry customers on the phone. We call them Karens, and I remember that. I will laugh at that forever, even though my name's Karen. But when you've got one of those people who have called, put a smile on your face as you talk to them. Now, don't laugh out loud at them or anything like that, but just put a smile on as you're talking. It changes your tonality. And if you have customer service, when somebody walks up to you, the first thing you need to do is smile at them. And if they start yelling at you, don't keep smiling, but you don't have to frown. But what happens again, and we said this earlier, is that when somebody sees you smile, it's an automatic response to copy. I mean, have you ever yawned? Oh, and everybody around you starts to yawn. Well, it's the same thing. You smile, people see that, and subconsciously their brain says, oh, I got to smile, and it smiles. So if smiling helps to put things into perspective, then an angry customer is more open to opportunities to do something different. They're more open to options. They're more open to problem solving and not just to, I'm angry and I demand the world. So, those are the five fundamentals of laughter. So, step number one for having those bad days, again, is thank you. Have an attitude of gratitude. Step number two is laughter. Laugh 5 minutes a day. And if you can't laugh for five, smile for 20. And this is equivalent in a row, not 5 minutes where you go, and then an hour later you go, yes, 5 minutes in a row. Watch comedy. I don't care, but do something. The third one is meditate. Now, we've talked about meditation a lot on this show and also on Power Surge, but meditation is so easy once you look at it as something easy. And again, I'm not talking about sitting in the corner with your legs crossed and your arms up going, though that is a form of meditation. I'm talking give yourself 30 seconds, 3, 4, 5 times a day where you just let your brain relax. And the best way to do this, and we've gone over it before, but it really warrants being said again. The best way to do this is to think of something that makes you smile. Just think of something that makes you smile. For me, what makes me smile is thinking of the little or not cartoons, but video clips on YouTube of children laughing. That just makes me giggle. Listening to children laugh to me is the most contagious thing. Now, it's not for everybody, but for me, it is the most contagious thing. Some people, it's cats getting stuck in a paper bag. My kids, it's Carl, llamas in hats. Hey, Carl. Okay, it's just wrong. We're not going to go there. That one's just wrong for me. But my kids find it hysterical. I don't care if you listen to comedians, if you read the comic strips, if you just close your eyes and think of something funny. Picture me falling down at the airport, or the other thing we talked about with embarrassment a couple of weeks ago. That'll make you laugh, and I'm happy if you laugh at me. That's okay for me. um, but think of those kinds of things, and that will help you to, well, it will help your brain to relax, and it will put you in a more positive frame of mind. Now, when I was doing seminars and teaching this particular course, I would have everybody close their eyes and picture something that made them smile or laugh for 30 seconds. And I did this every time, and I'd have them close their eyes, and I'd give them 30 seconds, and they would just start to smile, and some of them would start to laugh, and I would usually stop them at 15 seconds. In fact, let's us do it, and I'll stop you at 15 seconds, but let's say 30. Let's do that for 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and time it. And just, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. Just think of something funny. And if you're sitting where you can close your eyes, go ahead, close your eyes. Think of something that makes you smile, starting now. Okay, that was only 15 seconds. I will dare to say all of you at least got a little bit of a smile. Your corners of your mouth came up. Some of you started to laugh right out loud, but that was in only 15 seconds. Do that for 30 seconds when you get to work in the morning or when you wake up in the morning. Do it at lunchtime. Do it again when you get off of work. Do it if you drive when you get into your driveway to overcome the traffic. Do it before you go to bed, but for 30 seconds, just smile. Think about something that makes you laugh or smile for 30 seconds. And this type of meditation is just phenomenal, and it will make all of the improvements in the world. Now, that's 3 of the 5 things that will help get you out of your funk. I call it kick depression's butt. That's 3 of the 5. We'll go over the next 2 next week, and we're going to go over attitude, positive attitude versus negative attitude. And so, I'm gonna really seriously start going through this book and rereading. Yeah, have you ever read something and you went, "Wow, that was really good," and a few years later you went, "I forgot all about that," and you read it again and you're like, "I wrote this," and I'm reading it going, "Wow, that's pretty good. Wow." So we're going to go over this book because I really like this book, and it's a real easy, teeny tiny, thin read, and In fact, I have to ask Jace, did I ever send you a copy of this book?
Sorry about that. No, not yet.
Okay, well, let's talk. You got to get a copy of that. Um, I think our friend Gwen set it up so that we could get a copy to other people, didn't she?
Yes, but I think that she's still working on it, so maybe we can just put it on the description if you guys are watching this.
Okay, we will put it on the description, but I we can get you can get the book. I don't remember the price of it, but it's like way super cheap. It's like 4.99, 6.99, something like that. Um, but I tell you what, this is I've just been rereading it again, going, oh man, I had some great ideas. And we do that. Have you ever had a great idea and forgot about it, and then when you went back and read it in your journal or something else, you went, why did I forget that?
Actually, yeah, and then you're trying to figure out you will be writing some of it, but then this is not the whole idea. I still need to think about it more.
Yeah, that's why I like things in writing, be it PDF or be an actual handbook. I like them in writing in handbooks because then I can highlight it, and it's faster for me to flip through the book. Because I remember, you know, I remember weird things. I don't know. Do you do this? I remember which side of the book it's on, which page, and if it's
Yeah,
toward the back or the front. So I can just flip through and it's like, oh, yeah, I highlighted that one in pink. Oh, there it is. You got to da 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 da. Oh, yeah. No, I have another one though. What color did I have? I don't remember, but it was on this side of the page in the back of the book. So let's start at the back of the book. Oh, yeah. I see. Yeah, I like that. Okay. But so for me, I like the actual books. A lot of people would rather have it on an ebook or digitally so they can have it on their phone and stuff, which is still great. I think it ages me that I like the tangible ones, but maybe not because my kids like tangible still too. And they're young. They're young like you are, Jace.
and
They're
yeah, I love it still when you can like hold it physically, because I think that makes it part of the experience of the whole story. So
Yeah, I think so. So, did you close your eyes and picture something that made you smile for 30 seconds or 15 in our case?
yeah, I did that when you were doing it too.
I saw you do it because though you're in the back room, I can still see you and you were smiling. You were smiling. Yeah, I honestly I challenge all of you. Just when you can sit and close your eyes and just and you know what? If it's not the closing of your eyes, if you need to watch YouTube, and I love YouTube, obviously, since we're on it. But I love YouTube. But if you need to, and I'll tell you my favorite again, children laughing. Bring up a video of children laughing. You can't help but smile, even if you hate children. Which, oh, please don't hate children. That's just sad. But even if you hate children, listening to them laugh is just contagious.
Yeah.
Contagious. So, anyway, I'm excited, and I'm excited for our show on Wednesday. And I want everyone to know that I am here for you anytime. If you want to just chat about something, you can Facebook me, you can instant messenger me. I guess that is Facebook, huh? You leave comments in the comment section. You go on to my website, drkarenperkins.com, and there's a place to set up an appointment to meet with me, do a free consultation. But there are things that I want to be there for you, and you know I hope some of you take me up on this because not everybody will, but I hope some of you do take me up on this. And if you have any questions ever about anything that I do, my coaching, my mentoring, any of our resources, again, feel free to reach out and ask those questions. And you can actually, Jace answers them if you don't want to talk to me. You can go to staff at drkarenperkins.com, staff at drkarenperkins.com, and Jace will answer your questions too. So I hope you're not afraid of me. But if you want to talk to Jace, which I like talking to Jace, you probably will too, reach out to him at staff at drkarenperkins.com. He responds to all of those very, very quickly. Well, that being said, Jace, another great show, and I appreciate all that you do. And I'm going to tell all of you, mwah, ciao for now.